Hello, people. It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. Always, I have my co-hosts here. Hey, ladies.
Hello,
YK in the building.
Yo.
How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. You know, I have so much gist, but I've forgotten everything. Everything has lost. But I must remember that my head caught you last week. 3 days they didn't have light. They just said, they have light for 3 days. Then someone was trying to tell you, we didn't have for 8 weeks, but we have lights now. Came in on Saturday.
Are you serious?
Since Saturday.
Oh, God, the top.
Yeah. He came in on Saturday. We haven't had for 8 weeks, and he came for the first time on Saturday.
Wow. Due to your connections.
Due to connections.
Connection. So if you don't have connection now, you have.
We've had light since they will just, maybe they will take it for 20 minutes, then bring it back.
20 minutes.
You're having fun. Like,
you know what my husband says? The Nigerians was accusing me. You have not been complaining. If it was when they didn't give us light, you'd be complaining. My freezer, these people are very bad people. But for now that you have over lights, I've not been complaining.
Let me introduce our guest co-host, Mary O'Mary, soul sister.
Lady
How you doing? Lady O'Mary. How you doing, Jerry?
Very well, thank
Well,
you.
good to have you on the show.
Good to be here.
So we're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on Your View today.
I can't wait to share it with you.
Good.
No, my own electricity situation is here too. Last week we didn't have electricity for like 4 days.
Wow.
And when it was finally restored, let's just say that epilepsy is better.
That's how our own is. No current. You go.
Like, I think you can see.
But I said, you know that kind of thing.
I feel a little bit better than.
In fact, as long as the freezer is running.
So let me just keep quiet and be grateful to be seeing even small.
Anyway,
lights.
Nima, how you doing though?
Very well.
Good to see you. Okay, we have a news mention this morning. Today is World Malaria Day. It's aimed to highlight the need for continued investment and sustained political commitment for the malaria prevention and control. So malaria is a big deal around here, and I'm happy that at least the awareness is there for us to continue all we can to ensure that people are safe, and we try to hopefully get rid of malaria at some point in our lives.
We mothers are always worried.
That means they must kill all the mosquitoes.
They have to. We have to do a lot to clear our drainages. Don't let stagnant waters remain around you. Make sure that you turn over your buckets or whatever. If you store water at home, when you're not using them, turn them over or cover them.
You know what you said about water now just reminded me of something. My mom is a nurse, and crates of empty bottles, crates, she actually makes us turn it upside down. Yes, she believes that those two can also
that's true.
breed mosquitoes.
When we were younger, there were the health inspectors that used to come around and spray all the houses, you know, but we don't have that anymore.
No town planning.
And
you know, that's another way.
All right, we have to round up, unfortunately. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Yes, welcome back. We're going to start with the Punch. Paris Club loan refund. Consultant sues governors. Demand 53.6 billion naira fee. Picture here, mob attacks Aregbesolah's nominee at Adelike's burial. 4 killed as Lagos scrap buyers clash with police. Fortstar impersonates Oni on Facebook, dupes to US-based day ladies of 600,000 naira. Federal government slashes business registration period to 2 days. Ill health story, Buhari's power-drunk CSO expels Punch reporter from Villa. Osinbajo panel quizzes suspended NIA boss Oke. Ile-Ife, Monarch, others moved to Osun. Afenifere demands the suspect's release. And CBN must scrap multiple exchange rates, says Osoludo. Okay, let's take this.
The fraudster. Please, let's take the fraudster first.
Yes, the gentleman.
That one was a funny story. He now looked the best way for him to make money. He put a picture of the Oni, and the Oni was very good looking. He put a picture of him on Facebook and said he was the Oni. No sooner had he done that, he started getting messages on WhatsApp and Facebook. I want to be your Olori. I want to be your Olori. So he will tell them that you have to pay 5.5% or something to be
for the rituals.
For the rituals. So those ones, they were based in America. One sent 350, the other one sent 250. It was when he was about to do the last one. That one was 5 million. That
was close.
You know, it happened to me. The person that the imposter that created a Facebook page and was collecting money from people.
I remember it was me they contacted.
Yes.
So this young man, Abiodun Joseph, decided that because he was from a poor background, things were not working fine. The best way to make money was to defraud young unsuspecting Nigerians claiming to be the Oni of Ife. He had apologized to the Oni, saying that he's sorry, but I think he's sorry that he was caught.
All right, this is who read the story?
I think it needs to be a hot topic.
The headline?
No, not the headline.
Which one is that?
We want to do the headline. Did you read the headline? Go ahead.
I read the headline. This young consultant is suing the Governors Forum. Ned Nwoko is his name. He's suing the Governors Forum of 53.6 billion naira as his consultancy fee in the Paris Club refund monies that, you know.
According to him, his law firm
his consultancy firm
actually initiated the refund. Yeah. However, the governors started paying other small firms, and he's saying that I'm the firm that actually initiated this. So they're going back and forth on this one. He has said
it's very sad. Some states agreed to pay 10% of that money. Some states, including mine, and those states, agreed to pay 20% of the monies they refunded. I'm thinking, who negotiated this deal? Right. It wasn't done in this dispensation, but it was done, and they should have paperwork to show what agreements they reached.
Maybe were you going to mention something on the paper switch?
Yes, I was actually going to talk about the fraudster.
Oh yeah, you want to tell me about? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, because you see, I was interested in something. Some willingly sent money, but there was one that wanted a house. That was hilarious. And the fact that someone would tell you to send 5% or 5 million out of 45 million, I'll pay the rest.
You have to just be careful.
I'm just
let's move on to The Nation. Tears, violence at Adeleke's funeral. NSA knew about the $43.4 million in Aye Bosoke tells panel. And Lagos seals off Tony Rapo's church. All right, NSA, let's talk about NSA.
Okay.
And then, and the NIA.
The NIA DG, Ayoke,
yes,
finally appeared in front of the Oshibajo-led panel, probing the recovery of the 50 billion in Ikoyi, and he was saying that he brought a lot of memos, documents to show that these monies were approved, that he informed the new NSA in his reports to him about the money, that it was left to the NSA to inform the president about the covert operation that was supposed to be used.
And he was there with them for 8 whole hours. You know, they didn't
at the end of his report, he said
to 9 p.m.
He said, I had done my best and I leave the
rest to God.
So I am hoping that the NSA agrees that, you know, because I'm waiting for the report of the committee, that this report was actually done and that he knew that the money was kept in a private residence and he approved of that.
Yeah, so we know, and that's the NSA. That's hopefully
what's his name?
Munguno. Babagana Munguno. Yes. All right. Tony Rapo.
Munguno is one of the.
He's national security advisor.
But he's one of the panel people.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Too. Tony Rapo's church has been sealed off because, according to Lagos State, they are violating the. What do you call it?
They didn't get a permit.
Building permits.
They didn't get a permit.
And they are built under a pipeline.
Yes, they built under a pipeline, and they are.
Is it pipeline or power?
It was
power line. Power line, not pipeline.
Sorry.
Power line.
Power line. Sorry.
Yes.
And there are fences on the streets.
Yeah.
And anyways, interfering with their new Freedom Way project. So
okay. Moving on very quickly to Vanguard. 12 states owe salaries despite federal government's bailout. They haven't talked about this burial ceremony that they're trying to project. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Ikoyi Gate, Oshimbajo panel quizzes NIA DG. World Bank's Lord Fashola's power plan offers financial report. Unfortunately, we couldn't see that story on page 9. 2 die. Scores shot buildings raised in Lagos crisis. I'm ready for probe, says Emir of Kano. All right, Mary, you want to talk about the burial event?
Yes,
did you read that story?
The burial event's very interesting. I would use that word because here's someone being buried, and on the other hand, some people are really angry at certain events that were taking place. And at the same time, we have someone almost being mobbed at someone's burial. Yeah. That is worrisome.
Yeah, Honorable Idayat Babalola actually was she was a nominee. Nominated her. And I think he was actually representing the governor of, I'm not sure she was representing.
She wasn't.
Anyway, there was a canopy where all the dignitaries were in, and they kept trying to attack her, saying that she's a betrayer. And they were trying to
based on speculations
that
she will be the next deputy governor candidate for APC in the state, and that they have a special person who's supposed to be governor, that
the anointed
candidate by the governor. That people are saying that this person wasn't the late Adeleke's candidate. These were fallout issues, that he had a rally, he had attended a meeting where they felt he had been poisoned by these so-called people. They were speculating and suspecting the poor lady unjustly, because the autopsy report came out to say that he died from overuse of painkillers.
That's true.
And you know, when people start to speculate let me put my words well. The loss of this man is a very, very, trying period for his family members and those who truly care for him. But those people taking advantage of it on political grounds, saying that, what has happened is wrong, he was killed and all that, and fighting at his graveside, knowing that even if they destroy and mob people, it will not bring back his life. This is not a way to mourn a person. The family are suffering right now. They've lost someone's father, a husband. This is not the way to go about it.
And they're doing this
politicizing somebody's
for selfish reasons. Their own personal selfish
Look at the way they're crying.
They manhandled that woman. Sorry, they manhandled that woman. She was wearing a scarf. They removed the head tie.
Even the governor
of Ogun State. The governor of Ogun State, and one TV report said the governor of Ogun State was very exhausted from trying to protect her.
He was.
So he sat down.
You're going to say something, Mary?
Yes, I was saying that I think it's very disrespectful. Not even of the family alone, of the dead, for all of these to have happened.
Well, in political burials, this kind of things happen.
Not all the time, it shouldn't be.
All right, final paper, Daily Sun. Osinbajo's panel grills NIA DG for 8 hours. CBN to block bank accounts without BVN by August 1st. Buhari disowns CSO for expelling Punch reporter from Aso Rock. Sanusi, I didn't spend 6 billion naira in 3 years. Says I inherited 1.8 billion as Kano Emir. And commissioner nominee escapes death at Adeleke's burial. Let's talk about this Punch reporter who was expelled at. Did you have that story?
Do you see that? Which of the Punch reports? The one on disowning
the attack. The CSO.
The CSO.
Yes. Who expelled the Punch reporter who wrote a story concerning Buhari's health over the weekend.
The thing is this: there's so much drama. In fact, there's just so much drama for my liking concerning this, in the sense that when you're talking about expelling a reporter, you cannot do so if you don't have the go-ahead to do so. And I read something this morning coming from Femi Adesina.
Exactly.
He said that the presidency didn't give such an order, but of course it will cause a lot of controversy.
And that's why some probably, Punch probably said power drunk, because he had no right and authority to do so.
Well, what I was going to say is, because what happened, the CSO had sent for him. The Punch reporter said that one was surprising at first. And then the he now asked him about 2 articles that he wrote. The Aso Rocks, the presidency being ill, and then the event centers. And before he now called his aide to take him out. They took his tag, they took everything, then they told him to leave, took him out. Now, Femi Adesina has come out to say they didn't know about it. But he has not given him the pass back. They now went to go and give the one that Jonathan expelled in 2014 or 15 for the Chad, this thing. That's the one that they have brought back, but this one is still outside.
Okay, all right, we have to
hold this story.
But it's important to know that our president has said that he doesn't untwist the media. So hopefully they should get this thing resolved and hopefully reinstate the
everything gets sorted.
That hopefully they should have given him, if the presidency didn't know about it, they should have given him his thing back immediately.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, what's hot today? Should attempted suicide be criminalized? That's our conversation today. And later, first aid treatment for poison. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Remember the 51-year-old textile dealer at Balogun Market, Mrs. Titilayo Omomo, who attempted to jump into the lagoon on 3rd Mainland Bridge. She has been arraigned by the Butimeta Magistrate Court on a charge of attempting to commit suicide. Though she pleaded not guilty, she may, on conviction, be sentenced to life imprisonment according to the provision of the section. Meanwhile, the Chief Medical Director, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Abeokuta, Dr. Adegboyega Ogunlesi, has said attempted suicide is more of a medical case than a criminal case. It is unjust to punish someone who attempted to take his or her own life, while there is no punishment for those who succeed in the act. Now, is a jail sentence or life imprisonment enough to instill fears in people who attempt to commit suicide? It's your view. You can call us on 070-80668014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. Now, we understand that this issue of criminalizing suicide isn't new. I mean, many countries had done it in the past, but in recent times, many have decriminalized this act of suicide. I know there are a few African countries like Botswana, Cameroon, Egypt, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and even Cote d'Ivoire have all decriminalized suicide. But why do you think it's still appropriate for us at this point in our democracy to still criminalize that act? Let me
criminalization of suicide in the past was based largely on religion and societal values, and you know in some climes they had punishment for this for a successful suicide, where the burial is degrading. They drag the body on the ground, they burn the body, or even dump the person at a dump site. They want to as much as possible discourage suicide. And it was also seen as an affront to authority, where if, for instance, you didn't like the ruler and the ruler had questioned certain things, you say, I'd rather kill myself than do it. So most of the punishment around it wasn't well thought through psychologically.
Right.
Presently, most of the countries where their legislators are right-thinking and they know these issues when their concern is human life, have decriminalized it and also put alternative to it so that the person is now treated properly, taken to a psychiatric hospital, and the reason for that suicide is also addressed. All right, but in the instant case now that we have in Nigeria, where a person is trying to commit suicide due to death, hard economic situation and all that, the concern of government and our legislators should be, what alternatives would this person have? Do this person have before trying to commit suicide? If you had an opportunity to renegotiate your loan, for instance, a softer percentage, a longer period.
So instead of solving the problem, we're just finding ways of
worsening the situation.
Because if, let's say, this woman, for instance, goes to jail for that 1 year, that debt that she has incurred will still be there waiting for her when she comes out. So they are not.
She could come back and could do the killing very well.
Make sure that the killing is successful.
It's why she's in jail. They will be sending her a letter. They will be taking her property.
Exactly.
Right. Because so we really have to address it. Go on, Mary.
This issue of suicide is very, very tricky. There's something I usually talk about, even on my radio show. I point out the fact that there was a research I came across a couple of years ago that stated that 99% of those who tried to commit suicide or attempted suicide, for those who survived it, of course, that means it wasn't successful. They found out that at that moment, their life could have been snuffed out of them. They realized that there could have been a solution. So at the last minute, when it was literally too late, of course, for some people, it was totally too late. But they still got a second chance. And so you find it worrisome that that solution they found, why can't it be latched onto? So they can have a reason to live.
But my worry is, shouldn't our government be looking for solutions to people who have mental issues? As the doctor has said, there are a lot of people who have mental disorders, pushing them to the point of suicide. Now, we only know of ARU, but we should have more medical personnel, even psychiatrists, psychologists, who are attending to Nigeria, because we have issues here, but not by criminalizing suicide on its own. That's the other flip side, which is you're even making it worse. So shouldn't government be more concerned on ensuring we have more of those doctors than just saying, if you do it, you're going to life imprisonment? Because I mean, for me,
imagine someone running from
counterproductive to me.
Suicide is a sin.
It's supposed to. Well, that is the religious aspect. But like Mora is saying, there is a personal problem that drives people. Let me take your phone call and then I'll continue.
Akoni, are you there? Sorry for keeping you for so long.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Please, I just want to appeal. These our people. You didn't even recognize our language. Now until anyone to speak, it's 2015, 2015, 2014. They also speak English. And you are Folabi Brown. You are Yoruba now, and Alaja too. You even relate to Yoruba. Why? You just neglect our language for good 5 days of your program. You didn't even neglect our language. Why? Always English, English, English.
Right. Thank you very much, Akoni. Appreciate your comments and your view. Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you what you're
saying. Yeah, I was saying yes.
Let's go back to this. Yes.
You were saying it's a sin, but I said that is because that is the religious aspect. But there is a problem. There is an inherent problem with the person that tried to commit the suicide.
But why? Let me sorry to cut you off. Yes, you are right. We agree on the mental part, but there are some people that are just doing it for attention. Some people are saying that
is a problem. Even if they're doing it for attention, it's still a problem.
Right.
There is still a problem. I'm seeking attention, so to draw your attention, I want to kill myself. I have a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say that the society, as Africans, we don't see suicide. We don't even know that there are psychiatric issues such as depression. I was listening to Larry Olushola on the radio show where he talked about depression, and he broke it down like depression is as bad as malaria. It is something that you treat continuously. It is not, you go to the hospital for it. It's as serious as having a physical health condition. Yeah. Do you understand? Because we don't see it, we don't understand how it works. When a person is so badly depressed that the person just thinks, no. Or he starts to hear voices like Dr. Mimuna said, that, just jump over the cliff. Right. Some people want you dead. Jump, I mean, these are issues that Africans, as we are, we find it strange. We don't understand how it is. So why do you want to kill yourself?
Let me take this call. Diola, are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I wanted to talk on the woman that wanted to attend the suicide.
Right. Okay.
I don't know why someone that wants that is attempting to kill herself. I don't know why you're going to put her in jail for a life imprisonment. I don't really understand.
All right. That's the conversation we're trying to have, Adiola. We're trying to see, does it make sense to criminalize suicide? Especially because quite a number of African countries have decriminalized it. They're understanding that there are more psychological issues. Now, in this situation at hand, do we want to appeal to the government that this should be reviewed? Or do you believe that we should just let it be, that it might be a deterrent to the people to commit suicide? Let me let Mary go.
The argument initially for it was so that when people feel they want to commit suicide, you escaped it, Abi, we'll put you in life imprisonment. That was the initial argument. But we've advanced beyond that. It doesn't make sense anymore. There are people who need help. Yes, people might say, oh, it's so silly. Why would you think of committing suicide? But it's a real problem. When we have to deal with issues, we need to deal with those issues. If we keep skirting around them, we won't find a solution. Exactly. And that's what we're doing as Africans. We keep skirting around issues.
And who best than our legislators to start to look into alternatives? Yeah. Right. Because,
that lady who tried to commit, let's assume they jail her. The problem, as I said, she will look for somewhere in jail where she will find access. Yeah. She will now kill herself again. She will now succeed. So have they really solved her problem?
Exactly. Like I said,
and the debtors now will be looking for their 18 million. Of
and there are so many things we should be looking at.
The fact that she commits suicide doesn't clear the debt.
It doesn't.
Our children carry it over, depending on the kind of contract she signed.
Okay, let's take
but it's important that our legislators start to look for alternatives, like I said, because this one life imprisonment or one year imprisonment, like I thought, continue to be the norm. Because that's the law, that's what we have in our provision. When we have an attempted suicide case, that is the year of sentencing.
So I think this is time for us to talk to members of our House of Assembly, because I know there are many laws. Maybe they should look into this and try to see what they can do. Hopefully. All right, do we have any tweets, YK?
Yeah, I'm just opening. I was so busy thinking about the poor woman who they have.
Sadly, we don't have.
Taurix Rule says all these suicide attempts should attempters should think twice before coming to waste our RIP. Jeremiah Anante says it could even be spiritual attacks. Haha, Nigeria with laws on the poor. Such laws should be for the looters.
Right. That's all we can take on this segment. Hopefully, please, as I said yesterday, be observant around you, people around you. Be careful. A lot of people are committing suicide for whatever reason. Some make the news, some don't. So it's happening out there. So please be careful. Let's be our brother's keeper. When we return, I want to talk about first aid treatment for poison, because we hear that some people are getting poisoned, and it's important that we know how to treat a poisoned patient. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Poisoning is a common and life-threatening occurrence. Reports has it that more than 200,000 persons die of food poison in Nigeria annually. Also, 80% of the cases, victim is a child under the age of 5. What are the alternative home remedies for treating poison, and why should palm oil be used or not be used as an antidote for poison? Joining us is a physician and gastroenterologist, Dr. Olutoyin Ashaolu. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. Now, we're talking about poison because kids get poisoned for one thing or the other. Recently, the politician who recently passed on, the allegations that it was probably poisoned, or even the painkillers, according to the autopsy, overdose of painkillers can be seen as poison. So in those kind of situations, are there first aid treatments available to do to at least to save the person's life?
Okay, thank you very much. Poisoning, like you said, is when the body comes in contact with harmful substances. And this contact could be from ingestion, that is through mouth, or inhalation, breathing, or through the skin, through the effusion into the skin. Or it could be maybe drugs given as injections, we call it parenteral or normal treatment. And the poisons could be a lot of things. Could be normal household products like detergents, bleach, like you said, rat poisoning, all those mothballs, all the things we use in order to prevent pests in our house, insecticides, or soap.
Yeah.
So anything that,
wow.
Detergents or soap, children can take them and get poisoned by that. We can also have normal food sometimes, and there's this food poisoning you mentioned is actually a bacteria infection or bacteria contamination of the food. We can have other things like drugs, overdose of drugs, illicit use of drug, drug of abuse and all that. Those are things, anything, once there's something is in the body at the wrong time, it causes poison.
Okay.
And what are the remedies, like you said, depend on what you're having.
Right.
First of all, you must identify that there's you can't just take anybody. What are the things you want to look out for? Now, if you see somebody that is lying maybe unconscious or having problems with their breathing beside a fume, or maybe a generator fuel or a generator machine, you know that this person possibly could have been poisoned by carbon monoxide. So there's a high index of suspicion. And when you have children in the home, you want to be very, very careful. You want to take all the things that could cause poisoning to them out of their reach. Okay. So if you have a child and you see the child is going somewhere and maybe the child's mouth is blue, the child is having problem breathing, is tearing, or the eyes are, we call it mydriasis or meiosis, the pupils are large or getting thinner, or maybe the child is, like I said, having problem breathing, or child is unconscious. The child is actually a difficult person to note. Like those are, you watch out for it.
Okay, now that's talking about prevention. Our mothers in those days would just grab you the moment they suspect that you have ingested, that's eating, ingested anything poisoning, like eating soap. I remember my elder sister eating something like, I think, drinking kerosene, and they gave her palm oil. She's alive today. She's past 30, close to 40, in fact, and she's alive. And suddenly I read a report that no, palm oil is no longer a safe first aid.
It's not like it wasn't ever a safe.
It wasn't ever a first aid.
It was like it's a safe, yeah. But to see that the guidelines say that someone that has ingested something, especially corrosive, you want to be careful. You know, if you give palm oil or any other thing, sometimes people say, he has taken acid, let's give alkali to cause the neutralization of the reactions. You might be causing more damage than you actually intended. This person can feel like can go and stimulate vomiting, and especially if somebody swallows all these petrol, kerosene, hydrocarbons that could cause respiratory problems. So as you give maybe palm oil or something and the person starts vomiting, these gases get into the lungs and worsens the condition. The person might aspirate. So the problem might not even be what the person is taking in the first place. It might be the effect of the home remedy we've given. So you have to be very careful what you're giving. So the
right.
I was actually going to ask about something. This same research of palm oil not being good enough states that it's even better to use water. Is that true?
It's better to use water, but like you have to be very careful. Usually they said about 125 mils. That's like if you divide a sachet of pure water into 4. And for a child, it's going to be less than that. So it will be sips. When you know somebody has taken a corrosive or a caustic agent, can give them sips of water. That's so instead of giving palm oil or something.
Okay. Is there any poison at all that palm oil can neutralize?
Like I said, you don't even want to neutralize in the first place. We all know from science that acid and base, they neutralize themselves. Are you getting me? So let's even talk about neutralization. You don't even want to neutralize anything. Assuming, okay, palm oil can even neutralize. Assuming it's a pure acid, you don't even want to neutralize, because if you neutralize, you're going to cause the reaction in the tummy. You understand? So carbon dioxide might be produced, patient's tummy might be distended and could perforate. So you're causing more harm.
Okay, so let's go back to the first question. What's the first aid? What's the first aid? Just especially for children. Your child maybe ate something that she shouldn't have eaten, and suddenly you notice the mouth is blue, as you had said, the pupil is getting smaller. What do I do?
First thing is to decontaminate the person.
How?
First of all, make sure you take the child away from the source of the intoxication or the poisoning. If the child is maybe has swallowed something, remove the material, the substance, hold it, don't throw it away, bring it to the hospital with the child. Yes, make sure that if the child has maybe paraphrase or something, if the child has the poisoning staining the clothes, you want to remove the clothes and wear, you know, or you also pour water and irrigate the place. So a child that has...
When I was a child...
Let me take this call first. Morning, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Patrick, go ahead, please.
Yes. Yeah, good morning all.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Thank you for the good job you are doing. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Yeah. Recently, I had a NEPA took light, and in my tree there were food, and the thing defrosted to an extent, but it didn't defrost completely. So I ate part of the soup that was inside the fridge. Immediately I discovered that I was having sore throat. And before I knew it, my little son that took the food also started coughing. At that particular point in time, what I did, I just drank milk and I drank water. What should be the first aid for food poisoning like that? Something you know that it is from the food you are just eating. That's my question.
Can you come again? What did you say?
So he said he got poisoned. How? He drank milk and water. Eating something that...
What did he eat?
Something from the refrigerator.
Soup that defrosted in the freezer. He ate from it. His son also ate from it. He reacted to it by coughing, and the son started coughing as well. And that they just took milk. So what is the right first aid? Okay,
if somebody is reacting to food by coughing or breathing problem, my first impression will be that the food contains something he's allergic to. Usually food might not cause all this coughing, respiratory problem. Maybe he's allergic to nuts and there is nuts inside. There could be, you know, irritation and all that. Food poisoning is when bacteria contaminate food, usually.
Right.
You understand? So it usually presents like abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, passing of loose stools, passing my heart fever.
When I was a child,
so that's.
When I was a child, I ate, you know, this cashew fruit. So I ate that nut. Okay. Hey, I wanted to die. Oh, my mouth fire.
That's allergic. That is. So you're allergic to that. That is.
Do you think it's? I thought because I've not eaten cashew fruit since then. I was like this.
That's allergic.
It's the nut at the end of this thing. Yeah, all my mouth got burnt. They rushed me to the hospital.
Cashews are
so, okay, there's another question I wanted to ask you, because someone was telling me that that we shouldn't eat cold food. That cold food, I don't know how true it is, but it can be poisonous. So, for example, if you go to the fridge and see a slice of pizza, you should actually heat it up, or maybe your food, you can't eat it cold. When it's cold, there's a lot of bacteria in it. Is it true, or that's just fiction?
Not really, no. But the truth is that a cold food, or is the tendency that bacteria will survive. Okay. You understand? Especially if you did not preserve it. Maybe the refrigerator was not working optimally. Yeah. Maybe they take light in your, and it's just there. And when you're taking it, possibly by the time you're taking, bacteria have had time to incubate, to multiply. So when you're taking, you're likely going to get
you're better off heating up the food.
So the eating up is for you to, like, if there's anything that is there, you heat it properly so that you know that. But like if you put the food in the refrigerator, like
sorry, let me just ask this one about fish. The fish, they say once you have defrosted fish, you shouldn't refreeze it as it now becomes poisonous. Is that true?
No, I don't think so. That's not true.
That's what they say.
So I was saying something about what to do when you have poisoning like that. So like I said, first thing is that you decontaminate. Okay. You identify the source of the poisoning and you take it with you. If there's need for irrigation, you can help to wash the skin and pour water. If it's even in the eye, you irrigate with them. Sometimes we have some acute poisoning into the eye, so you irrigate and take to the hospital. Okay. And basically that's it.
If it's food, you leave the food in the child.
Food is different, though.
That's what I'm saying. That tell us what to do. Is it okay? Your child is poisoned now.
You mean bacterial poisoning? Of food.
So it's difficult to know.
No, you're talking about chemical. I'm talking about chemical poisoning now. Those are the ones that are detergent. Bacterial poisoning is different, presents as diarrhea. If a child has diarrhea and vomiting, the normal home care is important. Make sure that your child that is vomiting or having diarrhea, you're giving oral rehydration solution. Okay. As the child is stooling, you're giving water to replace, so that it's not like by the time you get to the hospital, the child is dehydrated and there's problem.
Let's take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. We'll take some phone calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. So, Waiki, you have some tweets for us?
Yes, and they're important. Tariq Rule says, taking milk or palm oil will do. Don't confuse us. Dada Olowoyo says, what else do you expect from Western industrial complexes other than to dispel the efficacy of palm oil? Wufi Abiola says, is an activated charcoal a quick solution to poison? So I think you should.
I wanted to ask quickly that you see this procedure of deactivate whatever you've been speaking. To me, it sounds like a lot of English, because an average African woman will react and she's agitated. The first thing you do, like I said, is to give that palm oil. You pick up your child. So exactly which one is now the best first aid? Because it's not in our nature to be calm when a child has had food poisoning and be watching the child or any kind of poisoning, chemical poison, and try to watch the child. This is not about stooling and maybe you meet your child, the child has ingested soap, for instance. Do you now calmly carry the child? What is the procedure?
Okay, you rush. So you want to rush?
You rush now. You rush. Yes, you be quick.
I agree with you. That is about, like I said, sometimes maybe the child has taken just a little quantity and it's not even that much so what the best thing to do is identify. Everything has their antidotes. Most of these things, they have antidotes. If the child has taken this drug, there are antidotes to whatever, or maybe we look at the insecticide, there are antidotes to be given.
Can you give at least 2 antidotes?
What is the place of this new activated charcoal?
Let's assume the person has taken maybe organophosphate, maybe all these insecticide, they contain, that's what, depending on what some of them contains pyrethrin, organophosphate and all
I have to pause you. Sorry. I have to pause you. This place has been holding on for a long time. Inyolu, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Can poison change someone's genotype?
Can poison do what?
Change someone's genotype.
Right.
No.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show. So can poison change somebody's genotype? Is that what you said?
Inyoluwa, no. Poison cannot change somebody's genotype.
Okay, that answers that question.
Genotype is from the...
So you were answering a question that
I
I
was
think
asking that when you see a patient, that when you see a child and you're... Of course, there's need to be agitated. How will be agitated? How will want to do anything? But you know, from studies, and that's why we have guidelines, that we have people to teach us. Okay. So it don't cause more damage. It's not like it is not... Like I said, you can give sips of water, take the child, remove whatever is causing it, bring the material, the substance, take it with you. Okay. Take it to the hospital.
Just give the child water and carry the child to the hospital. That's what you're saying.
Sips. Like I said, even for adults, you don't want a lot. You don't want up to 125 meals.
Just little water.
Just little. If the child is not, especially if the child has taken, maybe you think corrosive, maybe like all this bleach and all that.
You are alone at home with your child. There's no form of transportation. You're far from the hospital. You want to do something at that moment. Are you going to keep giving the child water till maybe you give the child 2 sips of water, run out, please help me, or who can carry my child, or go and look for a vehicle, and then you run back again to give the child water? What exactly?
It's not like you're even giving like that repeatedly. You just give sips. If you must, like I said, you take the child to the hospital.
Right.
And what they do there is that they give activated charcoal.
Right.
I will not tell you to give, you can give activated charcoal. It usually helps to, because it absorbs.
Right.
It absorbs anything that is dangerous. It can absorb it. Some people used to do stimulation of vomiting.
Right.
But because this vomiting, like I said, and that's what I say, palm oil can cause vomiting, can cause more damage. Sometimes
I have a call from the UK.
Hydrocarbons can actually cause respiratory distress.
Okay.
You know?
Let me take this call from the UK. Aladimeji, I believe. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, hello.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm the first time caller.
Welcome to the show, Aladimeji.
Welcome.
Well, I've been trying to call for months. I enjoy your program, but I don't usually get through.
Right. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Well, I want to digress. I wanted to call when you were talking about the mental health issue.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
30 seconds.
A lot of Nigerians, because of the economic issues, are suffering from mental health issues, and the government needs to recognize these things. All they need to do is talk to this woman, socially,
right.
to sort her out.
Right.
The government, the Liberty government needs to change this law. Right. It's barbaric.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You.
We have to round off. Why, do you have any more tweets so we can let out?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yes. Can I answer this? Yes. So let's when you've identified the substance and you've decontaminated the child, take the child to the hospital. Most likely they will give charcoal there. And the truth is that to give charcoal, you want to be sure the child is conscious, is breathing, is having no respiratory distress. Then there are other things they can use. Like I said, depending on the substance, on whatever, they can give the...
What of milk?
No.
So both milk
and palm oil?
No. Can I just say something? You need to just help us tell our viewers, because someone is complaining here, child swallows liquid soap. Hospital is 1 hour away. What do we do? So
that's the same thing
everybody is asking, when we take poison, or if somebody takes poison, God forbid we take, but if somebody, or there's a snake bite too is poisonous.
It is. Okay.
What are the solutions?
Sip of water. She said sip of water.
I've said so. Decontaminate, wash away the contaminant. Sips of water. If the contaminant is on the skin, you can wash. If it's on the eye, you can irrigate and take the child to the hospital as quickly as possible. Make sure you can lie the child on the right side of the body so that if there's any vomiting, the child is not going to aspirate it back or choke on himself. So lay the child. If there's any tight-fitting things, relieve it. Let the child breathe properly. If you can give this ABC, we'll call it ABC of resuscitation. If the child is having problem breathing, you can do CPR. You can do mouth-to-mouth breathing if there is need, and take the child to the hospital hospital. In the hospital, they will help with the same. For snake bites, please let me tell people, don't be tying. My daughter said,
I was going to say that.
Don't be tying. My daughter said to take care of snake, but you tie. I said, don't
That's
tie.
what they taught us in school.
You don't do that. Because if you tie, in trying to prevent it, you're not preventing anything. You can cause gangrene. You know, the skin can, because of most of the time, because of the snake bite, there might be local reaction. And once you identify somebody having snake, maybe there's a snake bite, if you can identify the snake and find the snake, please find it, kill it, and take the snake with you to the hospital. Because there are different types of snake, and there are different types of, there are different types of effects. You
kill it and take it to the
sick. Me, I'll be running.
So don't eat the snake. And don't.
So I'll just carry my leg like that.
So immobilize.
What does that mean?
Immobilize means don't let it to be moving here and
there.
So keep it in a place. So it's not, you know, you're not. You immobilize it.
Okay.
And even you can need to wash the place. Take to the hospital.
Okay.
At the hospital, there's usually anti-venom. And usually
we have to round up. Unfortunately, we have to round up. I'm sorry, we've run out of time.
Take the snake with us.
Thank you very much.
Are you joking?
But if I've heard anything here, one of the most profound things I've heard today is that you have to live near a hospital. Because obviously poisons, you need quick medical attention. So obviously you can't, that sipping of water is important, but at the same time you need to get to the doctor. I think that's one of the crucial things we have to, let's say. Thank you so much. Hope you learned as much as we did. So to prevent malaria, make sure you fumigate often. Get rid of any stagnant water. Use mosquito nets all the time. My own has spoiled. I have to go and buy another one. That's all we can take on the show. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mosquito net. I hate mosquito nets.